Hi, everyone. I'm Ginny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. I'm here with some of the contributors to the March-April issue of On Purpose Woman magazine, which went out via email on March 10th. And you can also read it on our website, which is opwgc.com/magazine. That link is also in the text of this video. What we're doing today is talking to some of the contributing writers, advertisers, and our cover artist, members in the spotlight, and of course, our brilliant designer about what they contributed to this issue and why. And you'll get to know these remarkable women and what they have to offer. I'm going to start with our designer, Anne Pamfilis, who's here with us on Zoom. So give it up, Anne. Those of you who are here with us on Zoom is what I meant to say. Give it up for Anne. And Anne, you've been doing this, let's see, since July of 2003, when you took over from Catherine Yarborough. Why do you, what do you most love, I guess, about doing the magazine?
So many things. I think I always say I love the creativity that I'm given that I haven't had in a long time. So it's really nice. But I think what I love is every time we start a new magazine, you don't know what it's going to be. It's always going to be different. And it really just builds and you don't know what the final output's going to be, but it's the voices of the community and what everybody wants to share. And so I love that. And I also love um, people who thought they weren't writers or hadn't thought about being a writer. I think Vicki just mentioned that she was writing a blog and you were like, oh, I want that in the magazine. Someone might not think that they have anything to share, but I think they really do. At meetings, I know I've talked to Jennifer Sprout, who has a great article, Mary Perry, who is an incredible writer. Um, Even Susan Ernst, she's not in this issue, but I've talked to them at meetings and said, hey, why don't you write something in there? They were like, really? And now look at them. And then Susie, and when you and I had talked about that, I think we were sharing something. I said, why don't you write for the magazine? And she's been writing these great articles. So that's
Yeah.
really nice to see. I hope more people will consider themselves writers who have something to say because we want to
Yeah.
hear from them and artists, cover
Yes.
artists.
Yeah, we should not have to scramble for cover artists because there are so many. I guess we could start recycling a few, but I'd rather just get new people in here. And Mary, I'm not going to talk with you yet, Mary Knippel, about what you brought, but I could see you smiling. You love this idea of women finally stepping up and realizing that they're writers, and you'll say more about that a little bit later. Thank you for that, Anne, and just thank you again for your just unwavering commitment to this magazine and the way you can, if you don't know how to do something, you learn how to do it, and you're just on top of everything. And I honestly could not do it without you. I really wouldn't want to do it without you. So thank you so much for that. Let's give it up for Anne again.
Thank you. If I could just say one more thing,
Sure.
um, we're always looking for these cover artists. And I've said to Ginny many times, I would love to get some young people. So if you know any young people who are artists who want to be seen, they get a whole spread inside the magazine, which is a great opportunity for them. I've tried to contact a few art schools, but I haven't really heard back. But it would be great for them. And also, if you know any songwriters, because we always want to feature songwriters, and we do have done a few local or, people but really I'm doing a lot of people on a national scale. But I know like Ellen knows a lot of musicians. Maybe she knows somebody who wants to be featured. So that would be great.
Thank you for that, Anne. I appreciate it. Okay, next we're going to go to our cover artist, Deb Walker. And Deb, thank you for the beautiful images that are so perfect for springtime. You and I are in Vicky's group together, and I had the thought when we were there one day going, oh, Deb, I think you would make a great cover artist with your photography, but I wasn't thinking spring even. And not all of your photographs, obviously, are spring photographs, but what we use is just so beautiful, so it's perfect. So please tell us about you and your work.
Well, thank you so much. First off, I'm honored to be on the cover and to be able to share my art, my love of nature. And thanks to Anne and to Ginny for doing such a fabulous job on picking and reorganizing and making the cover just look so beautiful and sharing my art. I'm very proud. And I'm just thrilled to be able to be part of this organization and how it all is specific to women and how we support, encourage, and uplift each other. And my art being on the cover hopefully reaches people to understand the beauty and the importance of nature in our lives, in our homes, in our offices, to be out in nature and to appreciate the joy and love that we have here. And this group has just always been so encouraging and supporting, and I'm so happy to be proud of it, and even more proud to be part of the cover. So.
Great. Well, Deb, I would like you to say a few words about yourself and your work, because you also offer for anybody who wants to sign up, at least you were doing, I think you're going to start it up again, like getting nature to come into your inbox. Say more
Yes.
about that.
Thank you for that plug. Yes. I have a weekly newsletter that comes to your home, which will become back to being weekly very soon. And what it does is actually you get nature brought to you in your inbox. And it's called your weekly nature breaks, which is www.weeklynaturebreaks.com. And all you got to do is go there and click, and you will be welcome to our group. And then every week, approximately, I will share with you some beautiful art and different nature, and a little bit of, sometimes a little history about it, or if it's an endangered species, or where the location was, so that if you're close by, you can come visit as well.
I love that. Thank you so much, Deb. Let's give it up for Deb, y'all.
Thank you.
Okay. Suzie Jeffreys has written a series of articles for On Purpose Woman magazine and just started another series in this issue. She's also an advertiser. So Suzie, tell us about you, and well, first tell us about your article, your series and your article, and why would a woman want to read it?
Okay, so this particular article is a two-parter, because I
Okay.
talk first and foremost about heart health. So that's how I led in. Was, for those of you that don't know me, my mission is to allow women to rebuild their strength, their energy, their confidence, their freedom after a health scare, and specifically heart. And so the first part of that article was dedicated to bringing awareness about heart disease in women and how we present differently. We are not men. Surprise, surprise. So, and it's not that we cannot present in similar ways, but it's often different and it's often overlooked. And so bringing awareness. And then part two of that was for you to be able to step into rebuilding your health. And that's really for anybody at any point in their life. And the importance of just starting, taking those little steps with exercise. So no pun intended, taking those little steps, but and little shifts with your diet. If you felt like your diet has been off, little shifts with you time and self-care, and doing the little steps, because what I know to be true is if you try to jump in with both feet and go head underwater, you're going to burn out and give up and then be in the same place next year. Right.
Yeah. Suzie, one of the things I love everything that you write, but you also you'll add in a yummy recipe that's easy. And this time you also added a 5-minute circuit that is so simple. And I'd like to say that I've done it, but it is on my to-do list to print it out tomorrow and to start doing it. Stuff you can do in your kitchen, 5 minutes, and it just does it all in 5 minutes, a little bit of everything in 5 minutes. So check out Suzie's article. And Suzie, you're also an advertiser. Thank you for that. What are you advertising this month?
This month I was advertising about Go Red for Women. It's an American Heart campaign, American Heart Association campaign to bring awareness regarding heart disease in women specifically.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Give it up for Suzie. You may think your hands look huge when you put them up like this. I'm sitting close to the screen. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Okay, Mary Knippel has been with us for around 5 years and has had multiple articles in the magazine, as well as being an advertiser. So Mary, tell us about your article and why should a woman read it?
I'm not sure if I had anything in the last issue, but
Oh, maybe you didn't.
notoriously, I'm notoriously the theme of anything that I write about is, using my life experience to give an example of connecting what goes on in our personal life is also relevant to what's going on in the world. It's relevant. And my whole vision is, and my mission is to help women's voices be heard, to recognize that what they may be discounting as, oh, that's just ordinary. Who'd want to hear about me? That's what makes you extraordinary. How we have coped with that life experience and the wisdom we've gained. And that's what is our soul story that the world needs to hear from us. And I continuously advertise in the fact that I want to be visible and let people have a way to connect with me, to be curious about, well, how do I find my soul story and what what would I talk about? Because that's the thing that keeps a lot of people from even starting is like there's so many that they get stopped because I don't know, and the inner critic that says, who would care? There's a lot. And that's why the magazine makes a difference and the whole organization makes a difference, is that there are so many people that do care and they're just waiting for that opening.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support, for your wisdom. I love how passionate you are about this work, about your work, Mary. Let's give it up for Mary. Okay, Laurie Morin, you've been around with us for a number of years as well, and you write often. And you're another one of those people that sometimes just sends out a blog and I read it and go, oh, I want to use that in the magazine. Y'all, that makes my job so much easier when I can find something and go, oh, and we don't have themes. You don't have to fit into any kind of mold every issue because I think it's much more interesting that way. But I do say, we have everything for your mind, body, spirit, and business. So we cover all those pieces of a woman's life. And so, Laura, let's see, what did you write about this time? And why do you think a woman should read that?
So it's interesting that I'm going right after Mary because I would have said everything she said. I think our personal stories are also universal. And the story I wrote was about recipes handed down from my grandmother and my mother, and even a little bit about my father buying us chocolates on Valentine's Day, and how it took me many years to realize that they weren't very demonstrative. I never got a lot of hugs and kisses and I love yous, but food was their love language. And the way that they showed that they cared about us was by making our favorite meals, by my dad buying my mom and me chocolates on Valentine's Day. So I think if anybody is struggling with wondering in your own family, where the love is, I would say look for other kinds of languages. It's not always in words. It can be expressed in so many different ways. And that if you look for it, you'll find it.
Oh, I love that, Laurie. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And you're also an advertiser. Thank you for your support that way. And I don't know what you're advertising this month, but tell us a little bit about you and your work.
Um, so for a few years now, I've been teaching memoir writing. And I've just started a specialized kind of memoir writing, which is for women to share the wisdom they've acquired through their careers. Because I feel like, so I'm retired. When I retired, I realized I had this whole body of work I'd created. And when I left that job, it was going to disappear. So, how can we support other women by packaging that knowledge into a book or into a podcast or into whatever form and hand it down so the next generation of women can learn from our experience?
Beautiful. Thank you. Let's give it up for Laurie. Our next contributor, Vicki Ibaugh, has had other articles in the magazine and in this issue. And so, Vicki, tell us about your article and why a woman should read it.
Yeah, so I had to write out the title because I'm like, wow, that's a long title, Vicki. So it all deals with the fact that to have sustainable success, we really have to get out of hustle mode. Many of us were, if we're in business, we were taught by somebody who was just like, you just have to work harder. You just have to work harder. And I grew up in the Midwest. I'm a Gen Xer. Like, I know all about hard work. Like, I lived and breathed hard work to the point of burnout and hating what I did. And at one point in my job, counting down the number of years until I could afford to retire. If I'm in business for myself, why would I want to create a job that I hate? And so it's really about finding ways to help women learn how to work from alignment. What feels easy? What feels effortless? What works for you? And to quit following some cookie cutter formula from some expert who is wired differently than you, because only 5% of the world is wired like you. So why would you follow advice from the other 95%? Figure out what's aligned to you, figure out your stage of business and what works best for your stage of business, and do that. And so it's about getting rid of all the shoulds and starting to really live from that place of like, wow, this is what brings me joy. This is how I contribute to the world. And I was sharing with the group earlier when we were talking, I didn't get to realize that until I was like almost 50. I want women to realize that way sooner than I did, because I wasted a lot of time, effort, and money on things that didn't work. And I can't have that back, but I can, now that I know better, teach other people how to do better.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And say a little bit more about your work. How do you teach other people how to do that?
So I am a certified business coach who approaches business from the place of all about alignment. And so I'm certified in several tools that help people find their alignment that is like hardwired into them, meaning like this is just how you naturally approach work. And so I get to layer that in and just help them. It's like when you find out your colors, if you've ever done a color analysis and you can go, I don't look good in that color and I don't look good in that color. Finding out how you naturally approach work is like going, that doesn't work for me, not even going to consider it. That doesn't work for me, I'm not going to consider it. And it just allows you to cut through the noise and really focus on your path and what works for you. And so I love that I get to do that every day when I work with women.
Oh, thank you. Let's give it up for Vicki, y'all. And last, but certainly not least, each month we highlight On Purpose Women Global Community members who have shown up, stepped out, and participated. This month, Ellen Koronet is one of our members in the spotlight. She's the only one who showed up today. So thank you, Ellen, so I can talk about the members in the spotlight because I love that piece of what we do. Ellen has also contributed many articles to On Purpose Women magazine, as well as spoken for our community gatherings a number of times. So Ellen, tell us about you. What are you up to in the world?
I am breaking down those boxes that we put ourselves in and that we put other people in and that organizations really love to put people in. I am a mad social scientist. I create assessments, brand personality assessments, lead magnet quizzes, and it's a sort of a gamified version of marketing research. So don't just go out and ask questions, ask big questions. And especially as AI keeps coming up and sort of, making things move faster and get out faster and get out bigger. We need to keep the human element in there. So that's what I'm all about.
Wonderful. And you're one of the women in the spotlight for this issue. What do you love about being part of the On Purpose Woman global community?
Oh, it's a way to bring some beautiful color and playful energy out into a world that's just getting more and more chaotic. It's like that, the greenhouse effect. It's like stuffing us all down, right? So you have made a way of bringing together people all over the world who can really just shine in what we're doing. Like every single voice you just heard here is a super example of what you're elevating and what you're putting out. So I love being part of it. And I have found when I have personal struggles that I thought I was completely alone, and I know a lot of people, I'm in a lot of communities, this is the community that steps in
anytime anybody's having any kind of wobble. You're wobbling, get in here.
Oh, I appreciate that. And, you know, from a personal standpoint, I can attest to that big time because of the, you know, the things that happened this past year. So it's just wonderful that other people have that same experience that I get to have. So, well, thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for your contributions because really, if you didn't show up and do this, Anne and I wouldn't get to do a magazine, and that would be sad, wouldn't it, Anne? That would be pretty sad. And other people out there wouldn't get to hear your beautiful words and see the beautiful work that you're doing out there in the world. And so I want to thank anyone who's watching this, either our Facebook Live or at our YouTube channel. I invite you to join us at a Connections on Purpose gathering. We meet 6 times a month on Zoom and also in person in Columbia, Maryland. And all of our meetings are free. To find out more and to read On Purpose Woman magazine, go to opwgc.com, and that is also in the text of this video. So thanks again for watching. Say bye, y'all.